Translate this, and you'll be a director, the millionaire laughed, but the waitress silenced him. The boardroom gleamed under the sterile glow of recessed lighting, polished mahogany, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city skyline, and the quiet hum of power. Inside sat the elite, investors in tailored suits, executives with diamond cufflinks, and at the head of the table, Julian Thorne, billionaire, tech mogul, and notorious for his razor-sharp tongue. At the edge of the room, unnoticed like furniture, stood Elena Martinez. She wore the standard uniform of the catering staff, black slacks, white blouse, name tag slightly crooked, but her eyes held a quiet intensity that belied her role. She'd been working double shifts to pay off her mother's medical bills, studying late into the night for her linguistics degree online. No one here knew that. To them, she was invisible. The meeting had dragged on for hours. Thorne was presenting a new acquisition, a struggling European tech firm whose contracts were buried in untranslated legal jargon. Frustrated, he slammed a thick dossier onto the table. "This is useless," he barked. "Half of it's in German, half in French, and the rest looks like ancient Sumerian. If someone could just—" His eyes landed on Elena, who was quietly refilling water glasses. He smirked. "Hey you, the waitress, do you speak any of this gibberish?" Elena froze. The room tensed. Everyone watched, some embarrassed, others amused. One executive muttered, "Good one, Julian." Elena's cheeks burned, but she didn't flinch. She picked up the page, her fingers steady. She'd grown up bilingual, Spanish from her mother, German from her grandfather, who'd fled Berlin decades ago. She'd added French, Italian, and Mandarin in college. This was child's play. She cleared her throat. "Pursuant to Section 14, Paragraph 3 of the German Civil Code," she began, voice calm and clear, "the transfer of proprietary rights is contingent upon mutual consent and verified documentation of intellectual assets, including but not limited to source code, algorithmic frameworks, and user data protocols." Silence fell like a curtain. She didn't stop. Furthermore, Clause 7b stipulates that any acquisition must honor existing employment contracts for a minimum of 24 months, with full retention of benefits and equity participation as outlined in the original employment agreement. The room was utterly still. Even the air conditioner seemed to hush. Thorne's smirk vanished. He stared at her, jaw slack. Elena met his gaze. "Shall I continue, or would you prefer the French annex next?" No one moved. No one breathed. Then, from the far end of the table, an elderly board member, Madame Dubois, the firm's only non-American director, rose slowly. Her eyes shone. "Mademoiselle, your accent is impeccable. Where did you study?" Elena smiled faintly. "I haven't graduated yet, ma'am. I'm finishing my degree nights, but I've been translating legal texts for a non-profit pro bono for 3 years." Madame Dubois turned to Thorne, her voice icy. "Julian, you just mocked a woman who speaks more languages than your entire legal team combined, and with greater precision." A murmur of agreement spread. One by one, the executives shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The power dynamic had flipped in under 2 minutes. Thorne tried to recover. "Well, impressive, but this is still a board meeting. Perhaps you should—" "Actually," Madame Dubois interrupted, "we've been searching for a multilingual liaison to oversee international compliance, someone who understands both the letter and spirit of cross-border law, someone like her." She walked over to Elena and extended her hand. "Would you consider an interview? Today?" Elena blinked. "Me?" "Yes, you." Thorne sputtered. "But she's staff. She's brilliant,
Madame Dubois corrected. "And you, Julian, just revealed your greatest flaw. You judge people by their uniforms, not their minds." The room erupted, not in laughter this time, but in quiet applause. Even the CFO nodded in respect. Elena didn't gloat. She simply straightened her blouse, tucked a loose strand of hair behind her ear, and said, "I'd be honored." Later that afternoon, as news spread through the corporate grapevine, Elena sat in a private office, temporarily assigned, reviewing the full acquisition documents. Within the week, she was offered the position, Director of Global Compliance and Strategic Translation. Salary, $180,000. Benefits, equity, respect. As for Julian Thorne, he was forced to issue a public apology, not just to Elena, but to every invisible worker he'd ever dismissed. Months later, at the company's annual gala, Elena stood on stage accepting an award for ethical leadership. In the audience, Thorne watched, not with bitterness, but with something new: humility. After the event, he approached her. "I was wrong," he said simply. Elena studied him for a long moment. Then she smiled. "Everyone deserves a second chance, Mr. Thorne, even billionaires." And with that, she walked away, not as a waitress, but as a woman who'd turned mockery into a mission, silence into strength, and a single translated sentence into a revolution. Moral? Never underestimate the person serving your coffee. They might just be the one who rewrites your future. If you believe in kindness and second chance, please like, share, and subscribe to ACA Storytales for more emotional stories. Your support helps us spread hope to millions. Thanks for watching.